everyone. This is John Crate, and we are back. Rogue Trader. 1 second. Okay. So we are going to explore the ship a little bit today. So let's talk. We're going to talk to everyone and see if they have anything new to say.
Greetings.
Nothing from her. Wait, who is this? It's a servitor. Okay. Abelard?
Lord Captain. Lord Cap...
Nothing for you. Just informed me about a problem with the servitors. What happened? Your Lordship, the ship's servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt their tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no meaning or purpose. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided the fate of those servitors myself, but I deemed it necessary to notify you. Do not wish to hide these irregularities from the Lord Captain. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behavior before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of your storage compartments, depending on your decision. Pascal Haneaman expressed the desire to be present during the inspection, should it be carried out. I suppose the expertise of these team Magos may come in handy. Yes, let's do that. Yes, he shall come with me. Okay. When his lordship arrived at the scene, he found the servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been corralled into the bay, all standing in a long spiraling line and facing the center of their strange formation. The moment his lordship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion, all as one, as if obeying a command. The servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for their weapons, but then the servitors just went still as abruptly, staring at his lordship with vacant eyes. All present held their breath, disturbed by the sight. We waited for the Lord Captain to speak. His lordship Craticus von Valancius. Let's see. Took several steps toward the servitors. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfect unison. They mimicked his movements with frightening precision. The Rogue Trader halted in place and, after a moment's thought, waved his hand, and the servitors, just as synchronously, repeated that gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically to his technomat, so did the servitors, as if mocking him. Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it an incline of the head, a wave of the hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed this mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the Rogue Trader approached with confidence. The Lord Captain examined them. Excuse me. As High Factotum, it was I who had prompted the entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain. As we stepped closer, we noticed a fascinating irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under their copper collars inscribed with their past offenses. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. A visibly shaken technomat behind us proposed that the human souls had awakened within the servitors' bodies after a long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the technomat added that the servitors used to function properly and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. His gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half machines and half people. The Lord Captain stepped away. All present held their breath. Disturbed by the sight, we waited for the Lord Captain to speak. So, gestured for the Engineer Prime to study the servitors. The Engineer Prime slowly waded into the motionless ranks of the servitors, peering into their faces and checking their readings. There was no haste to Pascal's actions. With mesmerizing diligence, he inspected every single unit in his path, and binaric prayers were his companions in this investigation. The examination confirmed the Technomat's initial hypothesis. The servitors' souls, or rather the souls of the people they once were, had awakened. Not yet fully conscious of their past and present, these half-machines could nonetheless feel primitive emotions and sensations such as fear and pain. This undesirable consequence of shoddily performed lobotomy is most rarely observed, and yet for some unknown reason it had occurred in every single one of the servitors gathered in the bay. Let's see. Demanded a report on the defective unit status from the Technomats. Technomat's long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single key point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behavior, they were still quite capable of carrying out tasks, and therefore the circumstances did not call for their termination. Okay. I guess let's disassemble one. A group of Technomats hurried to act upon the command. The servitor's mechanical parts separated with clicks, snaps, and hisses. The sutures between its wrinkled pale flesh and its augments were laid disgustingly bare. We watched the Technomats do their work and could see every centimeter of the servitor's stiff muscles abounding with valves and cavities pierced by countless cords and tubes. The disassembly and analysis complete, the Technomats concurred. The unit was in working order. Nothing in the dissected body that lay before us could provide any insight into the reason behind the defects. I should make note of one more thing. At that moment, all of us present discovered that not just the eyes, but the hands and heads of some of the servitors were now shaking too. It was as if the mechanized servants were overcome with some primordial terror. Okay. Now it's my decision. Well, his lordship looked at me with unwavering resolve. It was that confidence that wrenched me out of the nightmarish stupor that had me tensely observing the scene unfolding before me, and he gave the order. I could dispose of them for Iconoclast. But, I mean... yeah. I mean, I don't want to do the dogmatic. And if I'm going to destroy them, I might as well go Iconoclast. Destroy them. They were, even because they could be heresy as well. But if there's nothing wrong with them, I think we gotta go Iconoclast. Lord Captain command was executed post-haste. All defective units were incinerated in furnaces and their remains were expelled into the void. The crew was provided with replacement servitors and soon forgot all about the destroyed unit's particularities. This incident haunts my memories to this day. With the fate of the defective servitors decided, nothing now could distract the Lord Captain from his mission. Oops. No, that's not what I want. I want this soap. Oh, anything else from the high factotum? Hey, Cabela.
Domin.
I'd like to know more about the sacred mysteries of the Death Cult.
The Vizier taught us that there are
Vizier,
many
not
like
Vizier.
us throughout the Imperium who spill blood in his name. Death cultists, as they call us. He said that no two death cults are the same, just as there are no two identical stars in the void. I will tell you about the Bloodspun Web, but I cannot speak on behalf of all death cults.
Okay, what's the cult's purpose?
The Bloodspun Web holds the bays of the flagship together with the threads of its faith. Such is our service to the Domini of the Von Valancius line. The Undying One commanded the Domini to embark on a ship and sail the Void's expanse. And thus, it became our duty to protect your dynasty and the Ark that became its home. This great relic of blood and adamantine. Some loathe and fear us. They call us murderers and reapers. Others call us dancers of death, who send the souls of the dead on their way. Both are right. Both are wrong. We are servants of the Undying Emperor. When he whispers that the time has come for a righteous martyr's soul to be laid in his blessed hands, we come to claim it. When he whispers that the wicked must know of his wrath, we come to reap. This is how we maintain order on the ship, unseen and guided by death's will.
How do you know that you have never made a mistake? How can you be sure you have never wrongly robbed one of your victims of their life?
We are carried along by a current of blood in the great river of fate. Life is not given or taken away by chance. If I see an enemy of humanity, my blade will sever the thread of their existence. I will not wait for a sign of his divine bidding. I am his will, and I do what must be done.
You hear a whisper in your mind telling you to kill someone and you obey? Have you ever considered these whispers could be a deception orchestrated by minions of the archenemy?
Death's whisper is unmistakable. It is not like the murmur of stars or the hiss of corruption. It is truthful, pure, unyielding. Only the most eminent of us, the High Spinners, can hear the whisper of the Undying One and give voice to his will. They must hone their senses and temper their body and soul for years before his call can reach them. If it puts you more at ease, you can think of these whispers as his providence.
Be that as it may, your thirst for blood is troubling.
There is no thirst, only duty. Killing brings us no pleasure. We are instruments of his will, and this is how we serve him.
Yeah, you tell yourself that. Let us speak about something else. How long has the Bloodspun Web been in existence?
Spinners carved the chronicles of our history on the stones of our temple long ago. But fate and time have erased our past, just as an exploding star erases a part of the galaxy from existence.
What are the responsibilities of the Vizier?
It is the Vizier's duty to watch over the flock, to lead those who want to learn more of the Undying One, but are fearful of death, and guide those who seek answers in death, but do not know how to live. The Vizier protects all. Those who do not know we exist, those who are grateful for our service, and even those who hate us. The Vizier sees what is to come, remembers the past, and accepts the present. They spin a web of faith and blood so strong that no enemy may sunder it. This is the Visier's burden. This is the legacy of the matriarch spider.
Who is the matriarch spider?
It is said that she was one of many, born in the void, the Domin's subject. She honored death instead of life, and for this, she was persecuted. It is said that when the arch-enemy's forces invaded the flagship during a warp jump, she gathered the Undying One's servants around her and saved the ship from ruin. Together, they spun the first threads of the web to ensure that such devastation would never happen again. It is said that she was strong and indomitable, but as the years passed, her heart became as stone, and thus, the Undying One whispered her name to the one who would become the first Vizier of the blood-spun web.
Well, why do you call yourselves spinners?
Through blood, sweat, tears, and the strength of their convictions, the servants of the Undying One spin the souls of your subjects into threads of balance. This is why we refer to ourselves as spinners. Those who are newly committed to the blood-spun web are called lesser spinners. If they are faithful in their service to him, they may eventually become spinners. The most devout of us all are known as the High Spinners, of whom there are 7, each bearing a unique title. The Vizier, the first spinner, leads the cult. I, Kibella, am the second spinner. The third spinner's name is Io, and there are 4 more.
You say the God Emperor is death. There are some who might find the comparison blasphemous.
The Undying One is death itself. We serve him, and thus we serve death. This is not a comparison, attribution, or preference. It is the truth, and nothing can change it.
Teach me to follow your tenets?
The tenets are knowledge, an art that is passed down from one generation of the blood-spun web to the next. Even so, there are spinners who will never fully comprehend this knowledge in the time allotted to them by the Undying One. The tenets dictate how one follows the thread of life, but they are also the thread itself, from first breath to last. The tenets cannot be taught, they must be lived. Only then will you understand.
It satisfied my curiosity.
It does not matter how strong a blade is, nor how faultless its service. When the time comes, it must return to its sheath.
I expected you to be angry. I thought you would expect me to change my mind or demand to know my reasons. Are you not bothered by my decision? Wait, what is this? I wish for you to stay.
Even the wisest of rulers may err, so we learn from the tenets. They also teach us to make decisions before giving orders, not after.
Tell me about yourself.
I am the second spinner of the blood-spun web. A spear in the hand of the Undying Emperor. I am your shield and shadow. Your blade.
How succinct. Do you dislike talking about yourself?
The tenets compel us to let our deeds speak on our behalf. There is no one in the cult who does not know me. So I have grown accustomed to taciturnity in matters regarding myself. Ask, and I will try to give you an answer that will satisfy your thirst for knowledge.
Tell me about your past.
I remember nothing of my childhood. The Vizier says this is because of my training and the injuries I received in battle. He told me it is the fate of all high spinners. The only memories I have are of the blood-spun web and the brothers and sisters who serve the cult alongside me.
What was it like growing up in the cult? What do you remember?
When we were young, we would sew our eyes shut and wander through the bays for months at a time. Starving, surviving, dying. This trial of darkness honed the senses of those who passed it. We were elated, for we knew we were blessed by him. When we grew older, we learned to wield our weapons, and our mentors tested us with pain, poison, and the weight of deceitful words. In time, our bodies no longer felt pain. Our blood became resistant to toxins, and our focus could not be shaken. We were at peace, for we had shed everything that could encumber our faithful service to him. When we came of age, we faced a great trial. A year-long vigil spent in unceasing prayer to the Undying One. When hunger and other base sensations faded away, we attained true comprehension of ourselves and our place in the world. Our place between life and death. We were proud, for on that day, he truly accepted us, and we accepted him.
It's been difficult to go through all that as a child.
It is impossible to understand the value of your body and spirit if you've never experienced physical or emotional pain. Pain is temporary, but experience endures. Experience can be sharpened like a blade and turned into mastery. I've never regretted walking the thread I was destined to follow.
Your parents, your family, you never mentioned them.
When we join the cult, we relinquish our past. The blood-spun web becomes our new family. I have seen the pain, terror, and doubt in the eyes of those who hear the Undying One whisper the names of their kin. For some, the blessing of oblivion is a gift not unlike death.
Do you not wish to know what became of your family?
No.
The answer escapes her lips before she'd given it any thought. Upon realizing this, she produces a small blade seemingly out of nowhere and begins to sharpen at the point of nonchalance. You may not remember your real family, but are you truly so unconcerned by the deaths of your fellow cultists?
It brings me comfort when my brothers and sisters cross to the other side. The Undying One has called them to his side, so they can serve him in ways we cannot.
I presume you have no friends either.
Attachment makes us weak. The weak meet their demise prematurely. But such death does not please the Undying One, for a soul must not be claimed before their time has come. It is true that spinners occasionally cross paths with those outside the cult, but such paths always diverge in the end. We may walk the same road together, but we are nothing more than temporary traveling companions. It is similar for those of your retinue. Our threads may intertwine for a time, but all will go their separate ways, as is inevitable. But not you and I, Domin. Our threads cannot be unwoven, and only the Undying One will end my service to you.
I understand you better now.
Know your enemy and prevail in battle. Know your ally and prevail in war.
You truly feel no pain at all.
You can see for yourself.
She reveals several small instruments of torture. What are those?
Tools for tempering the flesh. If a spinner neglects this practice for too long, their body will weaken and their sensitivity to pain might return. If it does, they will feel the overwhelming agony of every wound they have ever endured and go mad with torment before the undying Emperor whispers their name.
Torturing yourself almost seems to give you pleasure.
Is it possible to experience pleasure if one feels nothing?
No, I don't think I'm going to torture you.
You honor me by taking me at my word.
Your fighting style is unique. Do you think there's something I can learn? Probably not, because I'm a coward who sits in the back with a sniper rifle.
Your body will fail you, Domin. Your bones will break. Your tendons will snap. Your heart will stop. Our rituals of self-perfection are unending. They demand absolute dedication and decades of special training. However, if you devote the next 30 years of your life to its study, you might be able to learn the basics.
How old are you? I mean, I guess the human lifespan in this point is longer, at least for the people who are in the upper crust.
It is not difficult to speak the truth.
You torture your own flesh. What is the meaning of this ritual? I thought we already covered this.
Torture? I bear the sacred marks of the Undying One's service. Death has bestowed them upon me. Though others may cherish hollow riches or meaningless beauty, it is my duty to cherish his gift of blood. Each wound is a symbol of our service to him. Each drop of blood carries his blessing. To renounce these scars is to renounce the Undying One himself. Death whispers to me, "You are worthy of bearing his marks." Tell me, Domin, do you wish to honor your flesh with his gifts?
Sure, it'd be an honor to bear the mark of the Undying One.
Let it be so. Treasure his gift, Domin. Inscribe it anew each time you pray. May his blessing find you.
See, did you? Great. Now the screen's pulsing. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Did you ever meet Theodora?
I met her once when I was young. The Vizier saw a serpent hiding among those close to Domin Theodora, ready to sink its fangs into her throat. I was ordered to find the serpent and sever the soul from its body. I watched and waited for weeks. I hid among the shadows, the air ducts, and the faceless masses. Once I found the serpent, I sliced off its head and returned to the temple. I doubt that Domin Theodora ever saw me, but the 3 ritual cuts I left behind on the body let her know that this death was pleasing to him. They sent us a grand feast from the upper decks before the cycle's end. We gave it to the hungry.
Oh, how nice of you. You always address me as Domin. What does that word mean?
The Gothic we use to communicate is different to that spoken on the upper decks. Domin has many meanings. Giver of life, Lord or Lady of the Ark, and Shadowless Sun. The matriarch's Spider gave this title to the rogue trader who allowed her to form the Bloodspun Web. We use other titles as well. For example, Venai means Master of the Immaterium, or Watcher of the Veil. Vil means one who must go to the other side. Amic means one you can trust in battle.
If the Undying One whispers my name, will you carry out his will?
Lords and wretches are equal before death. If such is the Undying One's will, I will guide you to him, Domin.
Tell me about the Emperor's Tarot.
I use blood to read his sacred cards and hear the whisper of the Undying One. His tarot is not an answer, but a question I ask of the universe. And the universe answers with questions of its own. In this sacred communion, I perceive hundreds of possible outcomes. They are all true, and yet they are only visions. I know what will come to pass, and yet I do not.
I hate. One of my biggest pet peeves is when characters are like, I can see the future, but I don't see absolutes. I only see what may be. And it's like, yeah, I can do that too. It's called having an imagination. Like, I hate that so much. Where it's like, I only see possible future. I can see possible futures. I can't tell you with exact precision what's happening. Then yeah, so can I. I can tell you that too. Like, that's not seeing the future. Jesus Christ. I hate it so much. The Emperor's Tarot is usually read by sanctioned psychers.
I am the spear of his retribution, not a witch or a sorcerer or a soothsayer. I have no strange powers, but I do bear his blessing. I do not command the veil. I am guided by his whisper and led by my faith, by the tenets.
Excuse me.
Please, do not mistake me for something I am not.
You occasionally feel a shiver run down your spine or detect faint sparks in the air when standing next to Cabela. It seems her powers only manifest when she is practicing divination or in moments of pious exaltation. Cabela herself does not seem to be aware of her gift. How did you come to have a deck?
It is a holy relic that has been passed down from generation to generation. Only the first and second spinners are allowed to study the sacred cards and interpret their meaning. We use his tarot to guide the cult and discern the tangled threads of fate.
How many cards do you have?
34. There used to be more, but some have perished in the darkness of time. Their loss is a great tragedy for the Bloodspun Web.
Can you give me a reading? Also, if you don't have a complete deck, that... I don't know that I trust the accuracy of your divination. Can you give me a reading?
Ask the cards, Domin, and I will listen.
Let's see. So she bleeds on the cards. What does the future hold for me? 4 cards.
The first card is the young warrior. It suggests inexperience, a path of becoming. The second card is the shattered world inverted. The path will have twists, turns, and thorns, but you will gather allies along the way and find what was lost. The third, the hound inverted. Someone has marked you as their prey and is chasing you through a field of traps. The lost child. You will leap into one of those traps of your own free will and place your trust in someone truly desperate.
Okay. I must take my leave.
May the Undying...
That was cool. Learn more about her.
Oh.
Nothing more for her. Oh, we can level up too. Hey, there's Pest. Well, here. Let's go this way first. Oh, okay, Pascal? Talk to me.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Yeah, we haven't talked to him before, so I have some questions about your visit to Rykad Minoris.
The request is approved. I am ready to provide the necessary information.
What brought you here?
I came heeding the call of my mentor, the blessed Archmagos Amanat. We were supposed to meet on Rykad Minoris and discuss my mission.
The people who wanted to kill you at the port weren't renegades, it was just a cover. Really?
Thank you. Information acknowledged. I will analyze it and take additional security measures.
What do you think of this Abel Haneman?
I propose that it was the blessed Amonat who assumed this name. This name is assigned to me. His presence in the hands of heretics is categorically unacceptable. The canon of technological security commands that every effort be made to rescue a high-ranking bearer of knowledge.
Okay.
Acknowledged.
Want to know more about your past?
The request is approved. I have no outright restrictions on disclosing this information.
Where are you from?
Information about my origins is worthless. I belong to the priesthood of explorators and came to the Coronis Expanse over 200 years ago. Any events preceding that moment are insignificant.
How did you end up here then?
I was honored to become a member of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. When the Adeptus Mechanicus summoned the faithful for an exploratory venture into the depths of the Coronis Expanse, I joined the fleet in fulfillment of my sacred vows of comprehension.
So why aren't you with them?
Archmagos Amanat, my blessed mentor, commanded me to crew the orbital station Altar Templum Calixus X-17. This venerable temple station was founded in the early years of our expansion into the Coronis Expanse. It is currently a rear observation post of the Cognizance Fleet in orbit around the star Furibundus.
Who are the Explorators?
The sacred fraternity of explorers. The Cult Mechanica sends us out to the frontiers of the known sectors as researchers and conquerors. We are the warriors of the Code, who return to the lost worlds and devote themselves to recovering the lost ancient knowledge. Explorators are granted the privilege of being more independent than many of our tech comrades. However, it has earned us a reputation as unstable and poorly controlled troublemakers whose unorthodox views are dangerously close to apostasy.
Tell me about your mechadendrites.
They are my younger brothers and guides on the way to the Omnissiah. Their machine spirits are directly bound to my neocortex and pick up impulses from my subconscious. Sometimes they act ahead of my thoughts. This is how the Omnissiah leads me to comprehension. Acknowledged.
Tell me more about the Adeptus
I am honored
Mechanicus.
to belong to the priesthood of Mars, guided by its tenets. We safeguard technology against the impure and the unenlightened.
Oh, why'd you mention Mars?
That is where the cult of the Omnissiah originated, and where we were granted the first revelations. Many millennia ago, we made an alliance with the Emperor of Terra and have served the Imperium ever since, paying a tribute of machinery, weapons, and void ships. Everything that bears the blessed seal of machinery comes from our hands. And it is we who make sure the operating rituals are performed as they were meant to. We are everywhere. We are the Mars-forged steel bars that give the Imperium strength.
What do you mean guarded? It's not buried treasure. It's not a secret.
It is both a treasure and a secret. Technology is how the divinity of the Omnissiah manifests itself in this world. This is why the uninitiated may only be allowed to touch the most vulgar and mundane of its instances. We, on the other hand, are authorized to use the sacred catechism of maintenance and operation. Although there is another reason to deny lay people the sacrament of knowledge, it can be dangerous. Twisted by renegades, the Omnissiah's wisdom is called heretic, and the exposure to it may corrupt the uninitiated. Another danger is knowledge, strangely interpreted and inscrutably twisted by the minds of Xenos. This bane is called Xenotech.
Let's see. I see. Xenotech heretics are very dangerous.
This statement is true.
Do you hold a high position in your fraternity?
This electu indicates that I am a Magos, who has mastered the sacraments of many spheres of knowledge, and has the right to conduct services in a forged cathedral.
What is the Omnissiah in your understanding?
He is the divine mechanism, the maker of technology. The universe was made to resemble a mechanical marvel because the Omnissiah rules over it. Knowledge is the highest form that he uses to manifest in the world. For now. Someday, he will come to this world in the absolute fullness of his splendor. The Adeptus Mechanicus worshipped the Emperor. He is the earthly manifestation of the Omnissiah, who brought humanity into the light of divine grace.
What is behind the Adeptus Mechanicus' enthusiasm for replacing flesh with augmentations?
Organic tissue is an imperfect replica of the machine, transient and vulnerable. Metal is more stable, more effective, and more durable. Flesh speak is flawed next to binaric language. Meat begets weakness, it softens the mind and undermines discipline. But you can replace metal when it wears down. In addition, a machine is a supreme form of knowledge, and by assuming mechanical form, we become closer to the Omnissiah. However, like all things sacred, our augmentations must not be defiled by the eyes of the ignorant, which is why we reveal only the crudest of tools, while holier mechanisms remain concealed beneath our crimson robes.
Oh, then it'd be offensive to ask him to see it. An interesting superstition.
Not a superstition, a gracious truth.
You have a strange way of speaking. Is that because of the augmentation, or does your faith dictate how you should express yourself?
Partially true. I had a voice modulator implanted alongside the respiratory purification module, but there is an additional reason. Gothic is not my first language. I am used to thinking and making statements in lingua technis. The binaric language is more informative, more ergonomic, and less prone to misinterpretation. Acknowledged. May your labors be...
Okay. So we were going to see where we could go. Any other compartments? The freight line, the void ship shrine. Oh, the chapel! Yes, all of you, come with me. There's a puzzle here. Oh, let's see if I can remember how to do it. They ask you, like, I think it's 4 questions, and you have to answer correctly.
Oh, they're staring at me with their burnt eyes like I'm a leper. I'm just passing through, all right? So you lots can calm down.
Fucking let me through. Or no, this is the Astropathic Chapel, not the chapel. Goods. No logic.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
What did that do? Okay. Goods. More goods.
No!
Lost another astropath.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Operation successful.
Protect us from the machine spirits and rest, for without his gifts, our sacrifices are fruitless. You can barely hear the voice of the young astropath standing very still next to the bulky Nectus, his face frozen in a mask of despair. His hands are pressed to his chest, clutching crumpled scrips of thick paper. Here's your approach. The engine seer, his head lowered, does not so much as glance in your direction. With his hands folded beneath his robe, he makes a barely audible, unpleasant sound, a prayer in Technolingua. What's going on here? The sacred compiler is ailing, your lordship. A gloom has come over the machine spirits, and they are disrupting the mechanism's operation. 12th row of the drum is now adding incorrect symbols. It shows me a stack of papers. And you notice at once that the rows of squiggles in each line all end in the same glyph. We summoned the servants of the Omnissiah, but the machine spirits are none too eager to heed their prayers. The esteemed engine seer is in a state of tech prayer trance and hasn't moved from the spot for a day now. I had the audacity to think the sacred compiler could be better helped by examining its parts, but who am I to question the secret knowledge of the Adeptus Mechanicus? Unit Sigma AR-87 is currently in a tech trance of shared comprehension with the spirit of the Archaeotech device cataloged under the name of Steam Spindle. Disturbing the unit is not recommended. However, a preliminary diagnostic has revealed several algorithmic faults that are in conflict with the sacred mechanism's processes. A practical intervention into certain cycles will likely aid the release of the accumulated burden. Let us see if there is any way I can help.
Victory awaits!
Okay. Let's see what we can do. There's this.
This Explorador is blessed with multifunctionality. My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Then do it. Level up too. Yeah. What's the-
The machine god grants me insight.
Follow my lead!
Well, that's two things that we fixed, but I still can't target him. Functioning cogitator.
Operation successful.
It's 3 things. Faulty transcriber.
This explorator is blessed with multi-functionality.
4. Else. Yeah, the puzzle. No, the puzzle I was thinking of is like there's like this thing that is like a relic that you can open. It's like a
about
box.
time.
Something that you can open if you can answer the questions.
The machine now grants me insight.
What now? There we go. Your lordship. The sacred mechanism is working again with no disruptions. Initiator rises proudly to his feet and says in low Gothical language he clearly has not had much practice in. With sacred words and virtuous thoughts turned towards the machine gods, I have been able to pacify this mechanism's wayward spirits. The Omnissiah blesses. I'd rather say it was my efforts that helped make the machine operational. Recommend installing 2 incense-burning units in this compartment to prevent the spirits' continued anger. The unit Zachary Wise will be provided with a list of minor recommendations, 142 in total. Will be provided with a list of minor recommendations, 142 in total, for improvements to this compartment's maintenance. Failure to implement will result in sanctions on the part of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Priesthood. Receive the decoded reports.
A new challenge for me? I
Let's-
tire of idleness. Let's move.
Let's do this first. Maybe covert protocol. That'll keep him. That'll keep him protected. Logic. I don't need tech use because we have a guy now. So give him Xenoslore. Yeah, Reckless Strike is what we want. We're gonna do this. As for you, so many of these are good against bosses is the thing, because they're like poison effects. They keep going. This is probably because we're always casting one of those things. So that's just a good one for her to have. I can't give her anything that I want her to have. I guess Medicaid, because that's actually some maybe useful. Concentrated fire easily. Can't give her demolition. Bella, what can I give you? Interesting. Yeah, this one. She can make so many attacks in a turn that it's ridiculous. Okay, levels complete.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Talk to Zachary. Lordship, I have something for you. Into a sheet of paper with information lines and machine type etched into it. Thanks to your assistance in repairing the compiler, we have been able to interpret a most curious message. It contains a call sign that agents of the Renegade Voight used in their especially important reports. Could this be a message from him? It was more likely he was more likely the intended recipient. When was it sent? I cannot say with certainty, Your Lordship. Following the repair work, I went through texts that had defied decoding before. This signal had lost its way in the bowels of the mechanism. It could be a week old or years. What does it say? Only a few words. Lilamed Odanthus 9 or 11. The winds have ceased. It is done. Now, Lilamed is Voigt's call sign for special reports, but the rest is a code we are unfamiliar with. That said, we know where to look for the truth. The Odonathus 11 system. I'll get to the bottom of this message. Let's see, I have no doubt of that. Remind me, who are you? I got a drink. Excuse me. My name is Zachary Weiss, Your Lordship. I am the choirmaster of the Astropathic Choir. I was posted to the ship soon after my soul-binding ritual on Holy Terra. You might say I have been serving House von Valancius all my life. How did you like serving under Lady Theodora? I served for 2 decades and never knew another Lord Captain before your ascension. With her, I had been through many things. Lady Theodora had a good understanding of my significance within the overall mechanism of the ship's services, which, however, did not stop her from neglecting my warnings. So how old are you? If my calculations are correct, having factored in our movements through the warp, then I turned 34 a month and a half ago. Can't quite tell if the old man in front of you is joking, but there is not the slightest hint of a smile on your face. Tell me about on his face. Tell me about the choir. Of course. What is this place? To us astropaths, this place is our cradle and our grave, Lord Captain. You are at the conflux of every secret missive, every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scenes. You are at a place where each of your loyal astropaths is ready to lay down their life for crumbs of information, if that is your wish. We receive and send messages. For hours turning into days, we wander the dark depths of the Immaterium, carrying our voice through the warp's eternal night, bringing it to our comrades in some remote refuge, accepting the voices, signals, and missives of others into our own abode. Those are most often meant for you, your lordship, and at times, they are meant for no one. What device is this? It is a sacred compiler that helps us record, store, and, to an extent, unriddle messages. The astropaths first receive these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating what they see to the machine, which logs their every word. From the reels of the receivers on the ceiling, the machine-recorded words are routed through lines under the floor into transcribers and then the thesaurus core. This core is the most important part of the mechanism, as it contains a vast catalog of various symbols and the methods of their interpretation. The compiler matches the images. I love that thing. The compiler, I can't even explain why it makes me laugh, but it just does. The compiler matches the images in the message against its data and forwards the results to the central cogitator and myself so that I can begin the ritual of decoding. I know of no other choir that possesses so wise a mechanism, and I praise the God Emperor for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of intelligible meaning from perplexing imagery, an astropath must still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than the rights of receiving or sending an astropathic message. If your machine knows the meanings of the symbols, why can't it decode the messages itself? Regrettably for us all, your lordship, astropathic messages are not ciphered dispatches, but rather psychic imprints containing information. Only an astropath can read the entirety of something created through the medium of the warp. Furthermore, as messages pass through the Immaterium, they might become distorted by malevolent intent. It falls to your servants alone to shield their mind with faith and separate the true meaning from the influence of the ruinous powers. So if you wanted to hide certain information from me, you could. My duty is to shield you from the monstrous communications that filter through the warp. The screams of the Emperor's loyal servants, centuries dead by now. The nightmarish, maddening images of the Sea of Souls. The cursed symbols that cause astropaths to convulse in violent fits of frenzy. The messages from abominations in search of weak minds to devour. Concealing all of that from you is my duty. How does one become an astropath? We're all part of the Imperial Tithe once, psychers delivered to Terra on the Black Ships. But only a few of the candidates had what it took to study astropathy. Fewer still successfully complete the grueling training to be eligible for soul binding, and almost none survived the initiation. We were given the privilege to behold the Emperor's light, a light flawless and searing. That changes you. It wounds you irreparably. It takes your eyesight, but in exchange, you commune with greatness. His presence in our souls fortifies them as we stand against the malicious powers. After the ritual, an astropath is assigned their position. At this or that adeptus, an astropathic relay, or a ship. More often than not, our first place of service is also our last. If something happens to your choir, where do I find new astropaths? It would be more on point to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the warp's various influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void, for which even this defense would be no obstacle, especially if one spends as much time in their company as we do. There is only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Luck permitting, unattached astropaths from the sector will be posted to the ship, ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra, and we will have to wait a long time. That said, There are other options. Blasphemous, forbidden options. Unsanctioned psychers, unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past their first few seances. But even those would do, should the God Emperor put our souls through severe trials. And judging by how rabid this warp has been of late, by the number of dead astropaths, those trials will be upon us sooner than our prayers could reach Terra. I know a couple of places where we can get new astropaths. That's, of course, if you don't insist on them being all classy and proper, like this fried-eyed bunch. That odd noise inside the chapel, does it not bother you? On the contrary, Lord Captain, it is a mental focusing technique used by your flagship's choir, one that I invented myself. This music was written by an astropath, but what my charges and I hear in it is not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. The music protects our minds from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them. But above all else, it serves as a beacon of sorts amid the tumultuous sea of souls, a thread to lead us home from the deadly maze. I have witnessed the death of one of your astropaths. What happened? May the God Emperor rest his soul and protect him from the ruinous power's tenacious claws. That was the 5th one this month. Our younger voices cannot handle the warp storms raging in the expanse and end up losing their minds. If they are lucky. Something is afoot on the other side of the mall, Lord Captain. Something infinitely sinister. Something disastrous. The scraps of mental images that reach us from the Imperium carry the mark of doom. The images emanating from there are like a beast bearing its teeth. We've heard accounts of disturbances in the warp affecting psychers, especially astropaths who delve most deeply into the Immaterium. Something is raging in the warp. Okay. You must tend to your choir. I shall have good food, recaf, relaxing balms delivered. I appreciate your concern. Perhaps these small indulgences will give them strength and save someone's life. Speak later.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Yeah, these guys are... We've got to treat these guys well. Okay, so... Shrine, then, I believe, is where the thing that I'm thinking of is. Yes, I believe this is right. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I think... Okay, talk to you first. Emperor, protect your lordship. How may we be of service? Who are you? She Zek, your lordship. Zeke. Your lordship. I say prayers and help Confessor Adalbert with the rites. What is this relic? A mysterious object, but undeniably a holy one. It is donated by a group of pilgrims who studied the legacy of the great missionary Nadine Aleynikov. They believed there was something inside that only someone truly righteous was meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment of the orb's opening that they bequeathed their body to us. Any ideas on how to open it? One of your predecessors was the last to attempt solving this relic's mystery. It happened a long time ago, before Lady Theodora was born. That's all I know. Why not just disassemble it? To damage a sacred relic is an unthinkable crime, and to use force to bypass the test of wisdom and faith it contains is terrible blasphemy. I'm going to try it. Okay. Form the question. My light reaches everywhere. The greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, but only the righteous will see me within their souls. I think this was this throne, I think? I think it's throne. Because, yeah, it has to be, because it's, that's like the currency of the Empire is throne. That's like how, like the dollar. It's instead of dollars, it's thrones. The greedy will see me in gold. Something clicks inside the orb. Second question. I am within every human, and my loss is feared. For without me comes the end. But give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Is that faith? No, wait. It's not Faith. Pretty sure it's Blood, actually. Pretty sure it was Blood. I am passion. Hold on. I am passion. This doesn't give me any answers here. I am passion. I am perdition. I am disgrace. Burn me down, eradicate me, or perish, rejected by the Emperor. Your sharp mind quickly scours the recesses of your memory for any fragments of Nadine Alenikov's sermons. You recall that she mercilessly denounced the weakness of those who have faith in the Emperor, but are incapable of translating that faith into deeds. She must have despised the shortcomings of the soul more than any other. Well, then, yeah, that's weakness then. Okay, last one. Hopefully. In your body, your mind and soul, you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I bring you closer to him. Purity? Orb comes alive. Hey, I solved. Oh, okay. Mystery oath. Missionary oath. How strange and exciting it is to behold the holy object that has lain hidden from the eye for so many years. Surely it is a great day upon which the rogue trader himself is revealed like missionaries to us.
None shall stand in my way.
They say a little bit of humility never hurts anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
Once per combat, if the wearer does not use any abilities during their turn, they can end their turn to immediately grant all adjacent allies an extra turn with 1 AP. You gotta be right, Nick. All adjacent allies? That's not...
I rise to the occasion.
Clotus. Lanky Initiate is leaning over the cogitator, an expression of extreme mental effort on his face. Grant me understanding, Master. Grant me wisdom. Your Lordship, how can I be of service? Who are you and what do you do here? I am Clotus, Junior Cleric. I sort recordings from the Shrine Confessional to pass on to the higher-ranking clergy. Tell me more about this confessional. Our parishioners come here to repent, to share their innermost thoughts and observations of their neighbors. Sacred machine records all confessions and alters the voices beyond recognition. Is there a way to find out who made which confession? There is not. That would undermine the usefulness of it. The first prototype wasn't anonymous, so those confessions might as well have been carbon copies of each other. Everyone was impeccably diligent and pious and whatnot, but as soon as the machine spirit started keeping the name secret, the parishioners opened up. Good thinking. Keep up the fine work. I'll endeavor to do so. It appears you're having difficulties. Nothing escapes your lordship's notice. As it so happens, I am struggling to categorize 3 rather peculiar confessions. I wouldn't have dared tell you about them, but I think they may have been left by senior officers, which would make this a matter of the highest order, one that is far beyond my meager understanding. These confessions, you see, are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of dissent or heresy poisoning the minds of some of the most eminent members of the crew, but I cannot change what I heard. I cannot share this with anyone but the Emperor's anointed, nor can I allow anyone but your lordship to listen to these messages protected by the secrecy of confession. What makes you think these confessions were made by senior officers? These parishioners are well-spoken, meaning they are used to addressing an audience. Perhaps they issue orders and are vested with power. And, well, after categorizing so many confessions, I've learned to notice the subtle differences between them. Let me hear them. Okay, recorder. First recorder. One question has troubled me for years. Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others must go on living and preserve the memory of the dead? Worthier and more luminous souls have been lost, yet I am still here. Confident that the speaker is male. Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others must go on living and preserve the memory of the dead? The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, but every so often I consider increasing their rations and ordering more sets of clothes for them. That will not replace the families they lost, but it will improve their lives somewhat, especially given that the ship has enough resources to cover that incomparably trivial expense. Determine the voice to be male. That sounds like our Firemaster. I would imagine it's him. Let's see. Lop-eared Kleppas display a high degree of socialization both among their kind and toward their owners. These animals adjust well to a void ship's lower gravity since it is similar to their homeworld's conditions. Lop-eared Kleppa meat is edible should necessity demand it. The voice sounds muffled as though from behind a thick layer of glass, but it is unmistakably a woman's. Lop-eared Kleppa. Oh, if it's female, would that be the Voxmaster? I will seek them out. I suppose those confessions truly are special. Okay, yeah, I don't have any answers.
Follow my lead.
What's that?
Done.
There's the confessor. Offer a prayer. Sure. Well, confessor. The Emperor protects your lordship. Are you here to pray, or have mundane matters brought you to me? Remind me, what do you do on my ship? I am ship's confessor, your lordship. No vessel that abides by the Imperium's laws can sail the void without a spiritual guide. Even a smaller-sized ship that does not have a member of the ecclesiarchy on board entrusts all matters of faith to a layperson who is a staunch adherent to the creed. Rogue Trader's flagship naturally is expected to have a confessor who comes from a line of his reference servants. I am such a one. I am entrusted with caring for the reliquary chapel and the dynastic crypt. I also conduct liturgies, consecrate the ship's bays, and strengthen the crew's hearts whenever a dark hour is upon us, lest any among them falter in the face of the horrors lurking in the darkness and fail in their duty. Tell me, Adalbert, do you visit the shrine confessional to repent as other officers do? Why, I always find time for penance on my morning and evening ships, your lordship. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, have they not? Do you mean spiritual nourishment? It is ever in short supply. Those children who are illiterate could use new prayer books and hagiographies for their own perusal and read them up to the others. Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others must go on living? An irrelevant question. Our fates are in the Emperor's hands, and he does as his plans require. The moment I thought you had come to confess, but now I see you have taken on the role of cleric yourself. Okay. Tell me about the dynastic crypt. Every rogue trader takes care to maintain an appropriate place of repose on board their flagship, for their capital may change with the passing of centuries, but the vessel of the Emperor's anointed serves them for millennia. It is more than just a symbol of the dynasty's authority. It is the source of its power, the Lord Captain's seat in the void, whence they reign over their many lands. The Bon Blancius crypt is where rogue traders and their most loyal servants are laid to rest. As the ship's confessor, I perform the rites of burial and remembrance for those honored dead. It never occurred to this old man that he might have to send Lady Theodora on her final journey, but all is the Emperor's will. I'd like to find out more about this place. I could talk about the reliquary chapel for hours. Is this the only place of worship on the ship? Why no, there are multiple sancta on every deck where your subjects pray fervently, and the clergy keep a close watch on the firmness of their faith. This, on the other hand, is the holiest of holy places, where only the noblest among your servants are permitted to set foot. I want those other decks to be able to partake of this exuberance as well. Truly a generous and gracious gesture, your lordship. I'll arrange for commoners who have distinguished themselves in their service to be allowed in here. An event like that will fill them with fervor, and they will pass down the memory of what they have seen to their offspring. Where does this collection of sacred relics come from? Every relic we have here was either arduously tracked down by your ancestors, captured in battle against the faithless, or received as a gift of for glorious deeds. A show of loyalty to the Emperor that speaks for itself, does it not? For our part, we keep the precious relics intact and undisturbed as we conduct liturgies and perform rites. Initiate Zeke is especially diligent in his care for the relics. Though he is of common stock, he earned his position through dedication and piety. I'd like to hear the Imperium's tenets from you. Every man and woman has their place in the order he created, and this order must be followed, and the will of one's superiors obeyed. Beware the witches, for they have been stained by the warp. Persecute mutants, for they are perversions of the human form, and hate the accursed Xenos. The Imperial Creed prescribes being wary of psychers, but the Imperium needs them. You are right. Without the astropaths, we are deaf and blind, and there are many other psychers laboring for the good of humanity. That is their place within the Emperor's design, but only those among them who accept his light and have been authorized. For once in your life, you could just admit that it doesn't take a tongue callous from prayer to handle the warp's dangers. The Ecclesiarchy tells us to persecute mutants, but an exception was made for navigators. The Navis Nobilite are different from most humans, but their differences are a blessing. They are noble servants of the Imperium who help humanity expand its galactic domain. Do you not see that as the higher purpose that pleases the Emperor? Among the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Emperor is known as the Omnissiah. They have their own form of worship. Do they truly share our beliefs? Well, certainly. Different likenesses of the Emperor and ways of worshipping him can be found across the Imperium's worlds, but we all believe in the one. For the purposes of optimizing the present exchange, I suggest regarding this statement as true. For a competent answer to this question, I recommend addressing this unit as a member of the Adeptus Mechanicus clergy. Come to think of it, my warrant entitles me to violate the Imperial Creed in many ways. Violate? Those are not to be conceived of as violations. Rogue Trader's privileges come with a duty, the duty to expand the bounds of human influence. If the Rogue Trader must take responsibility for unorthodox solutions or actions in the course of performing that duty, then so be it. It seems there are more holes in the Imperium's religion than parasites on a Grox. You forget yourself, John Cradicus. Not even a Rogue Trader is allowed to blaspheme against the Holy Faith. For the sake of your own salvation, this conversation is over.
It's about time!
Go. Back to the bridge, please. We could go look for the Vizier. I believe that's what the other location is. So maybe we do that. I want to do that. Sure. Freight line. Is that right? Let's see if we make it through the whole thing. I'm getting tired. Usually I get a nap in, but it was only like an hour. Welcome to Freight Hub LD-987A14A14, Lord Captain. I'm Edek Fenso, Captain of the Enforcers on Lower Deck Bay LD-A14. The Master at Arms has assigned me to be your liaison for the duration of your stay here. Captain, would you like to inspect the control room or begin your search for the Temple of the Bloodspun Web? Seems you were prepared for my visit. How did you and Saurabak know I was coming now? Master Dums ordered us to be on standby after the Bloodspun Web openly invited you to visit their temple. We have been awaiting your arrival every day since then. Do you know how to reach the temple? Sorry, Lord Captain, I do not. No one knows. The cultists are too adept at hiding and keeping their secrets, and it worries me that you might have to walk around the entire compartment looking for the temple. Is there a problem in this compartment? Lower decks are not suitable for someone of your status. And it's not just the grime or the crowds of brutish laborers. I suspect that the entrance of the Temple of Death is hidden in some dark corner where you might encounter criminals or contagious outcasts. The kind of riffraff that dwells here, you might even be attacked. To put it bluntly, although the Bay performs its functions well, even its more civilized sections are sorely lacking in discipline. I was only assigned recently, so I haven't had time to straighten everything up, since doing so will require making some serious changes. I'm not inventing excuses, Lord Captain. As the officer in charge, I accept full responsibility for what takes place in this compartment. Let's see. I hereby offer you my assistance, Captain. I shall conduct an inspection and then share my thoughts. But in that case, I urge you to remain vigilant. The freight trains move at great speeds, and the inhabitants of the residential units are despicable rabble. One must never drop one's guard around them. An emperor preserve you from stumbling into the pestilence pit. That's where the madmen and the lepers live. Tell me about the station. The hub connects the lower decks freight, residential, and artillery bays. Our task is to monitor the flow of the labor force and prevent supply disruption between bays. Who maintains this hub? Traffic controllers. Your technomats trained by priests of the machine cult to keep the sacred cogitators in working order and prevent train collisions. The consequences of an accident like that would be easy to imagine, especially if one of the trains were conducting macro cannon ordnance. Also employed here are an enforcer squad, a team of Inferni, the clerks who keep cargo records, and a Medicae officer. A fine chap whose medicine of choice is a bullet. May the God Emperor forgive him. Not every voyage ship can boast of its own railway. That is true. Usually higher class ships are the ones that get trains, but it's far from the greatest thing rogue traders Warrant can see done. The credit here goes to Lady Theodora's predecessor, on whose orders the Adeptus Mechanicus assisted in birthing this miracle of sacred engineering from the womb of the dynasty's flagship. What is the situation on the lower decks? Most of the locals unload trains and sort provisions, but give maintenance jobs to the more capable ones. The rest are reserve workforce. Whenever crew are lost on a deck, we find replacements from among those rats. And if extra hands are needed anywhere else, there are always more than enough volunteers eager to work for rations. They even queue for jobs. They cause you no problems, I hope? Surely you're joking, Lord Captain. The rebel are base in nature, and mutiny is always on their minds. They steal whatever they can get their hands on, and lately they've moved from rations and tinned food to weapons. We confiscate these regularly, of course, and keep the serfs meek and terrified. That's the only way we can protect the mindless herd from themselves. Oh, another thing the bastards do on a regular basis is build their shacks in front of service tunnel entrances. That has delayed the arrival of Infernus brigades during several emergencies and caused air and power supply problems in adjacent bays. We burn those saboteurs along with their shacks, but they just keep pressing on regardless. Mutinous rebel, how paranoid of you. To the best of my knowledge, being paranoid is practically a requirement of our line of work. In any case, the rebel are always plotting. Take my word for it. Enough. The cult has a presence in this compartment, right? That's correct. The enforcers do not bar them from carrying out their sacred duties. As irregular as it is to have armed crew members set up a secret hideout forbidden to the enforcers, and that they can go around dispensing bloody justice. What do you know about them? Not much, but I'm always trying to learn more, given that they like to pay a visit to my compartment. Spinners honor the Emperor through death. They kill notorious reprobates and heretics. Excuse me. Sometimes they kill righteous folk, and other times even seemingly at random. Their rituals are morbid and their prayers are strange. Anyone not initiated in their rites would struggle to make any sense of them. Do you not take issue with death cults killing people in your territory? I do, Lord Captain, but the cult is authorized to exist on the ship, which means their activities down here are not to be interfered with. Okay.
A new challenge for me?
So let's see, what do we have? Oh, there's some goods. There's blood on the floor. Scrub the deck 3 times. Is this the welcome you do, Rogue Trader? Whoever had the audacity to leave behind this appalling symbol, I will see to it the Master-at-Arms calls them to account herself. How did they even? Examine the mark. It's the Death Cultist mark, and the one that I now have, too. Remember this sign is the beginning of your quest, your first blood trail. Do you know what this mark is? It resembles one of the symbols associated with the Bloodspun Web. What was it called again? The Song of Trailing Blood, I think. It's a prayer It's a prayer familiar to many in this compartment. We've heard spinners say it when they, perform their signature acts of service to the Emperor. The soundless shadow sank into the dark. Slashed feet crescendo, a fatal dance, blade song and tempo, each edge and echo. Twin odes to death throes, now on her sacred blood. As she once trod the backs of foes, tread countless souls, but none who know. Why would they leave this mark here? Maybe it has something to do with them inviting you to visit their temple. They're trying to get your attention. Apologies, Lord Captain, I'm not good at deciphering riddles. Memorized it. When I took up my post here, I made sure to familiarize myself with all the peculiar qualities of this compartment. I soon heard about this verse and decided to investigate. I questioned a number of people who followed the Bloodspun Web, as I was trying to figure out if there was anything pernicious about it. Eventually, I learned the whole thing. The words are certainly strange, but it's nothing worse than that, it seems. Second I drink. What is the Song of Trailing Blood? From what I can tell, it's something like a prayer with several verses that tell about the life of one of the cult saints, Ariane, or the matriarch spider as they call her. So I'm invited to follow a trail of blood, it seems. I accept the spinner's invitation. I hope you find what you're looking for and return to the upper deck safely, Lord Captain.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Open the door.
Upper deckers avoid coming here. But how can one live on?
$57 ration cards. That's all I got. Spent the rest on Rockgood again, I'm guessing. Not doing you any more favors. Give up the drink or get used to life in the pestilence pit. Hope you get hit by a train. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, there's some goods.
Victory awaits.
Examine it. Some enforcers and Medicaid personnel in here now. There's a man named Revival. Once he's recovered, assign him to be a scribe's apprentice. He's too badly injured to go back to the workers' life. When the undying one is ready to accept a soul, it must be sent forth, and the soul will be freed from the torment of the flesh. Yet you have chosen to prolong this one's suffering. Your intention reflects me. Do you know anything about the mark next to you? The spinner came, he painted the symbol, and he gave me water and whispered in strange verse. He told me to memorize it and recite it later so that I would come. So that help would come, and here you are. See, Cabela, we're doing the Emperor's will here. Let's see. To Soot's smirched soul, her mercy she did grant. Last breath expressed life met heart. Removed from chest, passed on to death. Duty blessed, a balm for those who suffer anguish and distress. Longing brought to rest, of mortal bonds and soul the best. In order to follow the saint's footsteps, you are supposed to kill the young man and thus release him from his suffering. No. We're not doing that.
None shall stand in my way.
Climb the ladder. Athletics, huh?
Experience. Nothing matters more.
But then pass the marketplace. Make sure the enforcers don't see, or you'll get or you'll ruin the entire operation. On the tracks, behind something, you'll find a little gift for you. Give it to him and you see for yourself. And we got ration cards.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
It's about time.
Open the door.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Heinrich. Do you know where what brings you to this compartment? Seek the Bloodspun Web's temple. Do you know where they are hiding? I have the foggiest idea, and that's probably for the best. I have my hands full of this. What are you doing here? I'm here to patch up Savage, locomotive number 3, under the tech priest's supervision. Little Grump is my personal favorite on the entire freight line. Every couple of years, Savage gets mad. His boiler catches fire and starts spitting steam at the repairmen. Guess who they call to take care of him in these situations? The Inferni, of course. And after I've done all the most dangerous work, that's when the Iron Brains come in. That's alright. I love Savage. When he's in a good mood, the feeling you get standing out at his levers and speeding down the freight line is indescribable. I envy those tech priest drivers who get to operate him every day. The roar of the boiler, the wheels thumping like mad, and all the furious power pulsating in your hands, responding to the slightest movement. How about I introduce you? Can't turn down an offer like that. The panel before you is covered with technical ruins, lumens, and levers. The platform shakes from the boiler's mighty vibration as the iron beast beneath your feet growls and snorts ferociously. Let's see. The machine is angry and refuses to obey. Right now, Savage is powered only by the auxiliary maneuvering engine. We'll need to start the main rotor if we want to take a trip down the freight line. Initiating the train blessing algorithm. Let not corrosive wear separate the wheel sets. The traction drive received the touch of the motive force granted by the invisible hand of the Omnissiah. Let his grace strengthen the joints and supports that lift the body above the decay of mortal tracks. Hear me, driver, and praise the machine god thrice, for it is only by his will that the miracle of sacred locomotion is accomplished. The blessing has been successfully executed. Let's see. What should I do? Pull your hand on the big lever and gently give it a pull. Very gently. Savage does not like being handled. There's a strange feeling of emptiness in your stomach. Savage's fiery heart is stirring. Do you feel it? There is so much energy and defiance in him. This is a rocket, not a locomotive. Unruly and enamored with speed, but quite willing to submit to a strong hand. Pull the lever towards you, smoothly but firmly. Then pump the fuel with this command rune. Now you are feeling his real power. He can run down the entire freight line in a minute, given the chance, and kill everyone who rides him at that speed. Now try applying some thrust to the main rotor. Grab those paired levers and give them a firm tug. Okay, tech use. Looks like Savage has agreed not to kill us both. His tech priest guardians will be pleased. You have subdued a mighty beast today. Now I'm sure you have urgent business to attend to. Let's see. Good trip. We're not going down the
A new
tracks.
challenge for me.
Got things to do here. This way? Yeah. There's a flute player who we should talk to.
I did fine.
A group of gawkers are crowding around a makeshift stage watching a strange duo perform. A man with odd-looking goggles pushed up on his forehead, hands wrapped in worn leather gloves, plays a tune on a handmade flute. Next to him sits a stack of crates supporting some kind of game board. A scruffy rat is rolling small glass balls around the board. Several workers empty their pockets, start throwing ration cards, and bolt nuts, and even a few power panels into the small chest next to the board. The flute player winks at the crowd and switches to a different tune. The rat squeaks excitedly and starts rolling the colorful balls the players have chosen around the maze of tunnels on the board, but not a single one reaches the goal. A hole marked with a red circle. The rat just rolls all the balls off the board or into dead ends. Once the first group of players get their hopes dashed and leave empty-handed, new workers immediately take their place. Let's see. Watch the rat. The rat scurries around the board, spurred on by the flute. Its movements appear erratic at first glance, but after a while you notice how consistently the balls seem to miss the goal at the very last moment. While the rat's clumsy, amusing scampering distracts the spectators, its nimble tail directs the balls away from the hole. Listen to the tune. The rat's movements from the flicks of his tail to when and where it pushes the balls obey its master's wordless commands with uncanny precision. The notes, the pauses, the rhythm, every part of the melody serves as a signal to the flute player's tiny assistant. Your mind eliminates all irrelevant factors. The ruffling of cards, the clamor of nutballs, the excited gestures of native folk believing in luck where calculation reigns. There's only the game and its structural components, a skillfully crafted melody, and a trained pet that is smarter than it looks. Yeah. Fine show. The crowd notices us, turns to you, expressions of frightful awe appearing on the workers' faces. Prayers. Many a grand story of the Lord Captain's generosity is told, and I swear on my own flute today I will add another. To a fortune peddler, the Lord Captain's grace is a gift from fate itself. Perhaps you would like to trade us some of the Captain's fortunes of yours, your lordship? Who are you? I am but one of many. A voice in the crowd, a cog in the mechanism. His humble servant. Flute player is all they call me, because that is what I am. I make up tunes and give the people respite after a hard day's work. Let's see. Where did you come by the flute? My mother loved music. She used to hum beautiful melodies to me, and when she passed away, I carved the flute from her hip bone and learned to play. Out of sorrow and respect for her memory, that's one of your favorites. He smiles and brings the flute to his lips. The brisk melody pours out of the instrument. The glum faces of workers and traders soften a little, and the tones around you seem less squalid than before. Long after the music has stopped, many continue to whistle the unassuming ditty. Flute needs no words to sing, but I'm curious to know what story your melody tells. Story of a simple man from the lower decks, honest with himself and others. He risks his life to protect the oppressed from those corrupted by power. He takes from the rich and gives to the needy. He helps without asking anything in return. Emacite, hero of tales, admired by children and grown folk alike. None of that. I don't want to do any of these, though. May good times come for you one day, and then there will be no need for songs about fighting injustice. For a humble servant, there is no greater reward than his lord's approval. I will try my best to inspire as many of your subjects with music as I can. Are you suggesting we play a game? Explain the rules. On this board, you play with fate. Choose a ball and give it to Bolts, my rat. If she rolls your ball into the pocket marked in red, within 3 minutes you win. If she doesn't, you lose. Simple. Should be amusing. See, the man readies his flute and the rat dives under the board. Your clawed feet scrabbling against the crate, and a few minutes later, a green ball pops out of the center. You've already seen through the flute player's performance. You listen to him play and watch the rat closely. Then, at a certain point, you start tapping your fingers on the edge of the crate, adding your own rhythm to the tune. The rat scrambles in confusion, mistaking your commands for those of his master, and starts rolling the ball toward the goal. When the ball drops into the red hole, a few impressed whistles come from the crowd, and the flute player laughs heartily. Cleverly done, your lordship. Well, I had no doubt that you would be a worthy opponent in your strategy. I think I will keep it in mind for my future games. Cut a button from your sleeve and throw it to the man for the entertainment. Thank you for this generous gift. These folks will shower me in ration cards to get their hands on something that belonged to your lordship. Fortune gave me the brightest of its smiles today. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I certainly won't forget my fateful meeting with the Lord Captain. I think there's...
I won't tolerate weakness.
There's something. I want to say there's more to
Compared to
him.
naval service, that was barely a challenge.
I want to say there's more to that guy.
We must act.
Level up again. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Let's see. Precise attack. Let's see. This is the one I want. Killing plan. What is his intelligence? 40? His fellowship is 42, so that don't help him much to have that, okay. Well, how about you? Toughness, probably? Strength will help with weapon damage, so we'll give you strength. pyromancy? Sure. That could be interesting. Aftershock, too. I like that. Especially if we're going to go pyromancy. That's probably a good choice. Okay, for you, can't take agility or ballistic skill. I guess willpower. How about you? Agility or strength? Probably agility. A lot of our stuff gets agility bonuses. Doesn't need athletics. Medicaid is probably the one we want from her because it's pretty high for her. Okay. Intimidation. What's his intelligence? 55. Okay. So yeah, we'll give him that. Because he's mainly going to be around for his... Until he gets his plasma... Until he gets his plasma and melta weapons, he is going to be mainly there for his skills. But we do want to keep him around.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Since having him around is good for picking locks and all that. Repair the control panel. Gotta find a way to get down there. There's another symbol.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
What did you find? Was that? It's a dead man. Oh. Whenever his eyes linger on the blood marking striving nearby, his face changes strangely, his hands clench. Oh, so he's alive. Let's see. What do you think you're doing? What? I didn't... Scars on his body seem vaguely familiar. I'm registering this unit's intention to use the train tracks for purposes other than those intended by their design. I categorically demand that the unit's self-disposal be carried out using methods that do not violate the Catechism of Maintenance and Operations. Jesus Christ. Look at the man's scars. Scars all vary in length, width, depth, and shape. However, you notice a pattern in the way the scars are aligned, as well as a series of faded symbols on the man's rough skin. Death cultists bear similar marks. What do you know about the blood symbol? Symbol of the blood-spun web. Come here every watch, but it hasn't been here before now. This day must be a special day. Have you come to take me to the other side? I do not know you. Death's gaze is not upon you. But then why is it here? Who are you? A dead man. I lost my name years ago. I've been just another dead man ever since. You dare insult the rogue trader with your impotence? Your body may already be covered in scars, but your tongue seems to be asking for more. Are you a spinner? I was, but I failed to complete my final assignment, so I was exiled from the cult. The Vizier told me to kill the one who would be at a certain junction of the utility tunnels at a certain hour. I went to the appointed spot, then I waited. An hour, 2, 5, the junction was still empty. Nobody came. After hours of waiting, I finally realized the person at the junction had been me the whole time. It was my turn to go to the Undying One, but I was afraid. I couldn't do my duty, and I ran. The spinners simply let you go? They made no attempts to find you? There was no pursuit. I thought I'd see their black blades the very next day. Instead, years passed without them taking my heart. I tried starting a new life, but the terror never stopped eating away at me. When I got truly desperate, I went to the Temple of Death myself, but no one there would speak to me. When I gave them my name, they just whispered, "Sabreed has gone to the Undying One." They looked through me like I wasn't even there. I've lived like this for 20 years, like a coward, like a dead man. Why were you ordered to die? But some would choose to leave the righteous path. Those earn penance in due time. Her whip sings vengeance on renegade menace. Her blades pass sentence. For cowards seek to hide their hearts, but death makes no pretendance. It takes what is due in essence. The third verse of the Song of Trailing Blood. The Vizier recited it to me before sending me on my final assignment. I didn't realize at the time that it was my judgment. Another verse, another step along the trail of blood. The riddle is trivial. It's time for death to take what it is due, and the Vizier is waiting expectantly for you to carry out the sentence he passed years ago. There were plenty of reasons. I sowed death. I offered him the souls of the most pleasing men and women I could find because it kindled my passions. I killed well-off crewmen who didn't deserve their wealth, and I took their thrones. I killed enforcers who looked into my eyes without fear because I wanted to be feared. I reveled in bloodshed. I betrayed the tenants. I realized it, but I couldn't help it because I enjoyed it. Oh, you poor thing, I think I'm going to cry. You couldn't stop slicing people up. That must have been so hard for you. Even my whispers have nothing to say to a pathetic tale like that. I bet they're thinking, what a lousy, self-absorbed sack of scum. You do not seem particularly remorseful. I spent years in remorse. I'm tired of it. Have you killed any more since you ran? No. I've been afraid to touch my own knife since that day. Thought it might just stab me on its own, but the temptation is always there. I'll not judge you nor decide your fate. Farewell. And he falls onto the tracks anyway. It's better to die for him than to live for yourself. This he forgot. There's more good
Victory
stuff
awaits!
down there too.
Do you see that?
This. More ration cards. Stakes must be paid for. Save your unworthy servant. His name is 12. Get lost. Sound of breaking bones, the man cries. And the enforcer's hateful laughter reminds you of what you went through yourself, too vividly and too painfully. Echo of Torment. No, I want to see what the Echo of Torment is. He suffers a -10 penalty to perception? Ugh. Sincerest apologies, Lord Captain. Your boot. I'll clean it right away. Stop. I intend to hear this man out. I work hard, never even take breaks to rest, and all I earn is 7 ration cards with 15 mouths to feed back home. Jesus Christ. The enforcers shake me down every shift just like they do every other honest hard worker who... Enough whining. You and your pals lifted a box of Nutribars a few watches ago, and 2 canisters of water before that. I didn't beat the life out of you because I took pity on you, and this is the thanks I get? You quarantined the hub for 20 watches and refused to give out rations if we didn't have cards. Cards we had no way to earn. And today, you earned 15 cards in a single shift because you do the work of 3 people, right? Or did you take your pals to a dark corner somewhere, do them in, and take their share? I didn't do them in. It was an act... He stops himself. They got their heads bashed in by crates. The dead don't need rations. Jesus. Yeah, we're not gonna do the long one. Am I to understand that enforcers are appropriating earnings from workers after their shifts? We appropriate nothing. We just monitor and redistribute. The rabble are a lying and thieving lot. We have instructions to stay alert for people holding more than the standard amount of ration cards to prevent supply embezzlement and famine. They do take our cards, your lordship, then grow fat using them for themselves. Turn the cards in, don't abuse your position again. Okay.
Follow my lead.
The symbol on the other side of this. We have other places to go here. Or here. That. Apparently there's nothing in there. Move the container.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
What? We moved it, didn't we? It was 100%.
It's about time.
Okay, I don't know what happened there.
Halt! I noticed something.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Tech use.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Saving. Thief leader. Eagerly roaming through a rack filled with weapons from the Enforcer's arsenal. A big man with a pockmarked face is the first to react to your presence. Who are you? Must be anyone in here. It doesn't matter. Identify yourself. Take a closer look. Makeshift armor peeks out from beneath their ragged clothes, and their battered weapons display a patchwork of crude repairs. The group stares longingly at the rack where the good plasteel gleams, restlessly clutching their humble weapons. You notice that the little finger on every person's right hand has been cut off. It's hardly a coincidence. I'm Rogue Trader John Cradicus von Valancius, and you will explain what is going on here. Let's see. What are you gawping at? Hurry up and bend your backs as right and proper. Your Lordship, you must excuse these blockheads. I was taken aback myself. It's not every day you see the rogue trader in the flesh. But as for this, I won't insult you by denying it. You've caught us red-handed. Who are you? The Hard Nines, a gang. I mean, a brotherhood from Transport Bay 9. Don't think we're parasites. We do our bit for the prosperity of the ship. We're sort of assistants to the enforcers. Self-appointed. We make sure that order is maintained in compartments where the enforcers are too lazy or greedy for bribes. We put a stop to robbery and free-thinking, and well, we accept a small contribution as a show of thanks. Why do you want my weapons? Are you going to rebel? To do business. We're no rebels. If anyone blasphemes against your lordship, we call the troublemakers to order. We shed blood for the flagship without fear. I suppose that makes us defenders of the ship? Why stop there? You might as well call yourselves saints and say the fate of the whole dynasty rests on your shoulders. You obviously don't expect anyone here. The enforcers providing cover for you? I wish. Frenzo, the newly appointed captain, had our informant strung up. He's tightening the screws, damn it. He can barely breathe. Today's the last time we'll come to pick over this compartment. What do your fingers cut off mean? It's our gang's initiation rite, a fine tradition. By voluntarily removing a finger, the newcomer shows their determination and willingness to join us forever. It's also a badge of honor. Ah, the Nines. Tell me why I shouldn't execute you on the spot. You could execute us, but who would take our place? Shameless scum who rob and kill to their heart's content. Bastards who accept mutants into their gangs and prey to the archenemy. There have always been outlaws on this ship. You're better off with outlaws like us, who don't go too far and who keep the heretics down. The rumors about you are true, then you yourself know how it goes. There are criminals, and then there are criminals. I suppose you... I don't trust them.
Submit, and you'll die quickly.
Spare none of them!
What do we have here? Oh, we got... Oh, okay, yeah, we got a few guys. Okay, so... Get yourself up those steps. Kira, stay behind cover. And Pascal, yeah, there, that's fine.
Let's get to it!
My ears are ringing.
Rusted blades, huh? Wow.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
Actually, let's switch to our flamer for next turn.
But of course.
Forewarning on Cabela. Zero. Oh, okay, I see.
Anything else? me what you've got.
Let's get to it.
Oh ho ho, Cabela.
I will leave footprints of Scarlet. Trust me. As honor ordains.
Out of my way. Just a minor setback.
Martyrdom is the reward.
Time to slaughter some.
Okay, Pascal, you can go. That one's dead.
My vow is to serve.
And shotgun blast. No damage. Why are we doing no damage? Okay,
Brace
Abelard,
yourself, Abelard.
need you to endure.
At your beck and call.
Get rid of your negative status effects. Need you to take a swing at this guy.
Indeed.
And I'll need you to enter. Do I have line of sight? Well, I have line of sight to most people, so we can
All
analyze
too
you.
easy.
We can
Not
perfect
a problem
spot.
for me.
we can
Suits
surefire
my
plan
purposes.
and do this.
Already done. Chandler.
We're having a bad go of it.
Suffering is part of the trial.
Okay. Time for you.
Doubt is for the weak.
There. Something at least. I should have done that. Oh well. How about
On it.
Abelard this time? Are we lightning them?
Cleanses the body.
It'll arc to her, but that's okay.
Was that you? Or
Bella, get up there.
A dance of blades and shadows. I shall not. Death is a blessing. The shadows will.
Here you go. Give him a good
Let your
slice.
soul be purged.
scared yet?
High momentum.
Pascal, hit him with your
Request
axe.
approved. Combat is an equation. Your life is in next.
And he's on
variable.
fire, so that should help a good amount here. Can you please just
I will do like you
strike
took care
him
of
down?
this one.
Thank you.
All too easy. Suits my purposes.
And then can you kill one of them? That'd be nice.
Not a problem for me.
Or at least hit one of them? Jesus Christ.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. I'll do it.
Zero. What am I missing here?
What is this foreboding?
I don't have line of sight. Oh, at least he's on fire. Alcabella.
Death comes in silence. My blade whispers your name. As the tenant's killing brings me no pleasure. Trust me, caught by the web.
Zero. Again.
Explorers know one route. Forward. The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
Already done.
Jesus Christ.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
How can we not hit this guy?
I shall not fail.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come, the other side awaits.
That was ridiculous.
Whisper and beat.
I tire of idleness. Let's move.
Let's see. Have some ration cards.
A new challenge for me?
I don't need them. Yeah, we don't need any more of those. The Ripper. I don't think I have one, so we'll do it. Was it this stuff? The fact that they just all had heavy armor? Was that the issue? Maybe it was.
Operation successful.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Stay hugged. How was the kids have been waiting for you? How was your shift? You worked hard. I helped out a friend with the loading and he gave me some cards. Take them and exchange them for new shoes. Here's your reward. Well, thank you. I've already made your bed for you, so once you've eaten, you go and rest. The little ones and I will head out to the marketplace and leave you in peace. Why did the Emperor send me such a wonderful one? Little taste of at least goodness down here. Take it. Get to it, or what the hell?
Attention to detail is the key to success.
More goods? More rations?
Something of interest. I won't tolerate weakness.
Book of War Prayers. 10% more damage to Xenos and demons. Where has Conviction Dogmatic? It's doubled to 20.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
There's more goods down. What time is it? Oh jeez, we're approaching midnight.
Follow my lead!
What's down? What's this? Come on, go down. Saving.
The Whispers told me a secret.
Excellence matters.
Blindfolded old man. Greenish pus oozing out under his eyes. What happened to your eyes? Void rats gnawed them out while I was asleep. Jesus, and the sewer water my wounds were washed with was infected, turns out. The pain became a stinging feeling that couldn't go away and only got worse. How do you manage to survive? People help me. Good people. Not so good ones, too. I want to look inside your crates. Weapons? How would something like that wind up in the bottom of the bilge compartment? I do not wish to alarm you. I simply wish to learn more about my people's lives. Your people? Could it be our Lord Captain, our benefactor? Is it really you? Our gracious Lord, we know you well. Your charity gets us through the day, and we pray for you always. What are you doing down in this? Please hurry away before they know you're here. They're plotting something terrible. This crate, it's where they hide their... Oh, fuck you. Pathetic fool. That's her secrecy gone right down the shitter. Folks, we're gonna have to make some noise. Leave no witnesses.
Take a knee and bow before
Okay,
me.
well we can't.
I will
I
level
guess. Dear, whoa, she's gonna have some fun with lightning. So first of all, get this on Cabela. Where's Cabela?
Anything else?
Then
Be gone.
yeah. And that's how you do that. Where's the... There was a guy called the Foreman. I'm guessing he's... the big boy. Or maybe not. But anyway, that's that little part of it gone. Oh, there's still a guy over there. God, it's impossible sometimes to move this around. Oh, the Foreman. Is he on our... Yeah, he's on... I think he's on our team. Is there anyone with more... who has more hit points than most? I think it's the one Cabela's up against. Controller batteries are low. Okay. Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah, Foreman's on our side. Don't do anything to the Foreman.
On his side.
Cabela.
It's a
Get
blessing.
rid of the guy next to you here. And then I want you... It's
I would that I could.
too far, huh? It's hard to see where her limits are here. So I guess that's gonna end your turn.
Let's get to it.
No!
Let's get to it.
Foreman!
Let's get to it.
Okay, so let's control shot. Concentrated fire. She's gonna move like here. Throw the... Oh, Jesus Christ!
God Emperor, move through me. The giant I have get that face.
Jeez. I wish it was... Sometimes it's just the most impossible fucking thing.
Nothing I can't do.
Perfect spot, and then just... You don't need the bonus to take out some of these guys.
All too easy.
Try to get rid... Jesus Christ, I can't hit anything. Move the fucking... Zoom in. Maybe this will help a little bit. Okay, let's go here. And shotgun blast like this.
Enshrine the memory of this righteous moment.
Abelard. me go over here and smack him.
Reduced to dust!
Looks like there's 3 left. I see 2 over there. Oh yeah, that one's still over there. Well. Dira.
I know what is to come.
Are you able to lightning any? No, you can't. Oh, you can target him. So
On
do
it.
that. Yeah, there you go. 1 left. Bella, can you please do something about him?
I bring mercy and retribution.
I wish we could have saved the foreman. Oh, he's still alive. The locals and the enforcers call me the foreman. I have no other name. You might say I'm in charge here in this whole place. You recognize the shaggy red beard and the keen black eyes. This is a man who was watching you during your encounter with the enforcer and station worker. What in Throne's name was that? I'm not sure. Perhaps those freeloaders believed in the tales of Nemesite. As it happens, I've complained to to Captain Frenzo about some idiots who've been painting pictures on the walls, inciting people. What did he say? I've got everything under control. Had I known it would come to this, I'd have nabbed those sods and thrown them into the pestilence pit myself. And now we'll be pestered by enforcers to no end, void damn it all. Where's this Nemesite? Just a story they tell around here. There's this chap they say wanders the lower decks helping the poor who can't earn a living for themselves and standing up to officers and enforcers in defense of the weak. Except he's just a story and nothing more. Oh, I think that the flute guy is Nemesite. I think. Can't remember for sure, but I think that's right. I'll be speaking to Captain Frenzo about what happened. Well, in your case, he'll certainly hear you out. You know. In your case, he'll certainly hear you out and not, you know. What are you doing in the marketplace? Watching one of my workers take a beating. I feel sorry for the lad, but there's nothing I could do. I've stuck my neck out in the past. Not doing it again. Tell me what life is like for the workers in the lower decks. They toil day in and day out for the glory of the ship. The rest of the time, they do their best to survive, faced with hunger, the more deranged of the enforcers, void leprosy, fires, flood, noxious fumes. In a word, it's a decent enough life. If you work, you survive. If you freeload, you also survive if you're clever. Well, and if the God Emperor wills it. What are you cooking in the vat? Believe it or not, the soup made from mold slime and technical drain water has been simmering here in this vat for at least 200 years non-stop. See the growth on the walls over there? We harvest it, dry it, and use it to season the soup. If we're lucky, the smell attracts a void rat and someone gets to have meat in their bowl. It's for those who can't even earn a ration card. I feed them in exchange for services or favors. Sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. My people keep an eye out for workers trying to eat 2 bowls in one sitting. One is enough to fill your stomach for an entire watch. Some complain about the taste, of course, ingrates. Here, have some ration cards. Lord Captain, you've just helped some good families survive. I'll divide the cards among them and be sure to tell them that it was your lordship who did this good turn. I seek the Bloodspun Web's temple. Do you know where it is? The cultists don't let people like me in on their rites and mysteries. I'm grateful to them for their service to the God Emperor, but to be honest, I can't get behind their love of death. Much too fond of living. Captain, I beg another second of your attention. Please accept this humble gift from us, the common people at the Bay, for the good you do. You do us, the most precious thing we could get for your lordship. A hidden auto stick. Oh, I don't want to control Cabela.
I'm always ready. None shall stand in
Lots
my
of
way.
bodies. That means lots of things. nano guns can go. Stolen autocannon? It's a heavy weapon.
We should deal with this.
What do we find?
A new challenge for me?
Trap, huh?
The Emperor favors me today.
That looks like a tunnel we can go in. Ah, okay. Get around.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Swap things so bloody difficult. What's that thing difficult to say? The time has come. Your time has come, or what have you. I think we gotta. I think their temple is in that turbine. I think we gotta time our jump to get in there. Never will. How about we take his stuff to the marketplace? We'll get to eat soup tonight. Medicae.
Just as he ordained.
Victory awaits!
There's another Mark and the Outcast.
We need to investigate.
Over there.
Use your demolition
I better
skills.
myself through my service. Duty prevails. Never doubt me.
Get in there,
My
Pascal.
success is an irrefutable certainty.
Crimson Oblivion. If worn by a death cult assassin, whenever the wearer kills an enemy, that enemy explodes in a fountain of blood. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna have to equip that. If worn by a death cult assassin, when the wearer gains a stack of Blood Blessed, they also gain plus 10 toughness for 2 rounds. Interesting.
We must act. We shall prevail.
Wearer did not move during their turn or became immobilized, slowed, or stunned, or knocked prone. They temporarily gain wounds equal to 6. Oh, okay. Well. Yeah, I think she needs to wear that. And she's got nothing else to wear, so she can wear that. This needs to be on somebody. Oh, Pascal has the tech gloves. Dira doesn't have gloves, sure.
Follow my lead!
Where are the control panel?
God grants me insight.
Ah, okay. Now we can go up and down from here. Okay. That's good.
None shall stand in my way.
Let's see. What you want? What crime did you kill this man? The crime of wealth. That dead bastard had rations and fuel cells. Trade him for porridge. I'm Lord Captain of the ship, on your knees. Lord Captain of our shithole, and I'm St. Drusius, and here's my regalia. Even meeting wretched heretics such as this brings me joy. Wiping out even a drop of corruption is still a worthy deed. You detect a note of hysteria in the vagrant's laughter. The fingers of many are convulsively trembling. And there is something in the fearless way they look at you, an indifference to death, too strange and unnatural. What are you, mutants? Invalids? Mold eaters, outcasts, folk who have no place even among the lowest of the low. Some were born that way, some were driven out to keep them from spreading the contagion. The foreman won't let us near the vat, the enforcers try to shoot us on sight, as if it's our fault we were born into this terrible place. We are worms in the rotten belly of this ship, fodder for diseases. The tongue studded with small, underdeveloped teeth. This is no disease, but an obvious mutation. More deviations from the human form you detect. Let's see. You're sentenced to death for committing murder on my ship.
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
Your Emperor won't save you!
How many are we dealing with here? There's 3 up there. There's 3 down here. There's 1 over there. There's 3 over here. Let's get Adira moving this way. Ella can stay down here. Pascal. Let's get you behind some cover first. Abelard, you're in combat, so keep. Okay, Adira, first of all. Warning from Cabela.
What are you doing? Shoot me!
Okay, so not ideal.
Injured! I'm enraged!
I should have done that first.
But of course.
Trust me.
They do that.
My blade whispers your name. As the tenets demand come, the other side awaits. Trust me. As honor ordains, death is a blessing.
There we go. Come all down.
An offering of
Outcast
blood.
leader's still up.
I've suffered worse.
Death to the weak! I serve the ruinous powers!
Abelard. Here, sworn enemy, the
It will be
outcast
done.
leader.
Victory is imminent.
Swing.
Indeed.
And reckless. Oh, I should have done that first. Oh well.
I'll do it.
For you, my Emperor!
There, they're all on fire too. Hopefully that. Oh, we also have this.
Doubt is for the weak.
Oh, sorry.
And
There they go. Pascal. There's some over here that you could make go with. Shotgun. And also,
The Omnissiah knows all,
that.
comprehends all.
Didn't knock anyone down. Oh well.
Not a problem for me.
Okay, we got a few options to pick from here.
Already
How
done.
about
Opposing me was
Nice.
your biggest mistake.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
I just end the turn. That's fine. Cabela, you get to move. Still one outcast who's gonna make his way there, but move here. Help out your boy.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Chaos
My
guides me!
ears are ringing.
Ah!
Tried and tested tactics are
Abelard,
the
get
best
out of
ones.
there.
I will do my duty.
As the Emperor commands.
Get him burning. Pascal, you can do like your axe swing and kill
Running
most of
binary function successfully terminated.
Nothing I can't do.
There you go. Might as well let Cabela do this.
I will leave footprints of Scarlet. Trust me. Come, the other side awaits. As honor ordained.
There you go.
The web.
Doubt is for the weak. I won't tolerate weakness.
That was a nice little stash, I guess. Temporary runs equals the amount of collision damage. I don't think we have to worry too much about collision damage, but... Here to take Zdenna to the other side? No, 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 no. You're just wandering around in the dark looking for the light, but it's nowhere to be found. Do you really not see it? Who are you? Old Zdenna. Zdenna the outcast. Zdenna the mad. Zdenna the disaster. Zdenna the cursed. Zdenna the spurned. Ghost of the past? A shadow of the present? Only the Undying One knows. He alone. Do you live here in this repulsive place? Here where the unfortunate meet their undeath. Here a dumping ground for the bodies of those Undying One rejects. Here where pestilence dwells, Zdenna welcomes them all, talks to their ghosts. Here where Zdenna lives? Yes, that sounds about right. You talk to ghosts? You can't hear them? They don't like it when people come here. Woman is clearly ill in both spirit and body. Best leave her be. Why are you wearing chains and a mask? You haven't escaped from enforcers, have you? Ah, these, gifts they are. The chains clink to announce Zdenna's approach, for others to hear. You hide, fearful of becoming like Zdenna. Afraid of losing face. There's a blood symbol next to you. I have seen such marks before. Is that another part of the Song of Trailing Blood? Oh yes, the song. Listen. She wandered in eternity and dark, yet was consoled, web foretold. Undying One's blood secrets glowed, a light to guide her faithful fold. But threads must end, and so the spider did that which was owed, her life and death to ship bestowed. Final test. This time they want you to make a sacrifice. If you were to interpret this entire mystical search as a repetition of the saint's journey, then the logical conclusion is that you are supposed to sacrifice yourself to merge with the blood that has drenched the flagship from bow to stern. And you'll see if you learn to see. Look into the darkness. Peer into the darkness. You are gradually able to make out the outlines of objects hidden in the shadows. Rotting corpses, rough walls, the twitching of death throes of infected people left here to die. You see no light in this place, only darkness and despair. You don't see, do you? You don't see. Starts tearing off her rags. Strips of her decaying flesh peel off with them. You will not see until you become like Zdenna, the flesh and blood of the ship. How do I become the flagship's blood? Well, Zdenna will show you, and you'll see the true light. Come now.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Yep. That's where the temple is, but we're gonna save.
We
Let's
must
level up
act.
first, I guess. Okay, we'll do Tide of Excellence. And we'll do intelligence, intelligence we can use, so we'll do that. Abelard. Disarm is probably good. Charges. We do want the increased charge as well. Okay, how about you? Rather you learn some something for increase your psychic stuff. Yeah, willpower. I'll give you that one. That one's pretty good. I'll give you this one. Cabela. She doesn't really need any of these, though. Ballistic skill, he's gonna need that for later. Okay, like I said, that's where we're gonna end it. So next time on Rogue Trader, we will meet the Bloodspun Web, I guess. So, as usual, this is John Curtin signing out.